Hello, ladies and children. This is Helium Lemon 15. Today is May 1st. It's about 2 in the afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of Endless Ocean Blue World. The last time I even did anything, I just mean the last time I actually did an episode of this game was back in February, so it's going to be nice to actually sit down and make some progress with this game. I know I've been distracted with a lot of other games, but that's kind of how it goes. I really just want to sit down and make some progress on this game, especially since I don't know, I just have a real craving for nature right now, and I feel like people can really use more of nature right now that everybody's in quarantine. And, well, not everybody. New Zealand just ended their quarantine. I don't think Germany ever had an official quarantine. I think China's been out of their quarantine for a few months now. But anyway, yeah, we have something in the future to look forward to. But this game is just going to take me so long because I want to be kind of more of a completionist about it, and just even just getting enough money to open the Cavern of the Gods takes a long time. But I feel like I'm repeating myself on every episode that I do. We're doing some more dolphin stuff. Dolphin stuff has kind of funnily been, well, it's one of the easier things, but it's also just pretty satisfying to see each of your dolphins leveling up. So this is Boudicca, my false killer whale from Valku Castle. Yay, and Boudicca's now level 3, excuse me. Wonder what tricks it'll learn. New title, Sworn Ally. That's nice. Yeah, so we did that, and then I'd been making a lot of progress on the coin collecting, so Gigi has a title for me. He's like, hey, you got Shining Star, so that's for either 60 or 70% of the coins, I don't remember, but I think we're at this current point where I'm up to in the game, not necessarily in this video, but as of playing it, on this save file, I mean, just because this is post-commentary, I'm almost at 80% of the coins, and I've just been using game facts, and it's been fun, and using my little checklist that I make, and I don't have any qualms about using game facts. So the two little clips at the beginning of this video, just the different titles I got, were recorded, I don't even know when, months ago, probably February. And then this stuff was recorded probably around Easter, and I forgot to plug in the video cables, so I went back and listened to this, and I was like, wow, I got all the video, but I didn't get any audio, so maybe I'll go back and I'll edit in some music under this. We're going to north coast of Canada, we're going to the Arctic. We're looking for Ancient Mother, and we need the mighty powers of nature to help us through this dark time. That's what I'm saying. It reminds me of Mother Agra from the Dark Crystal. I've been thinking about Mother Agra a lot lately just because I've been thinking about nature. One of my teachers sent me a virtual tour of a public garden here in New York, and I was like, this is great, I need more nature. And then there's also some aquariums, I think, are doing virtual aquariums, but I haven't watched a ton of it. But I already have this game, so it's I could watch some virtual aquariums, or I could play this game, but they're both good. Yeah, it's funny to see all the things that are happening, like how the Globe Theater and the National Theater, here's a blue whale, blue whales are awesome. How the Globe Theater and the National Theater are uploading their stage productions. So I watched a little bit of Frankenstein as with Benedict Cumberbatch as the Creature, and Johnny Lee Miller as Frankenstein. And Johnny was so cold as Frankenstein, but I guess that makes a lot of sense given the original story. I don't know, I have a soft spot for Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein, based on the Mary Shelley book. I have a soft spot for the book, Really because of all the like incredible scenery in it. There's the Arctic and there's Switzerland and there's the glaciers and the mountains. But I have a soft spot for Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein, probably because it's so corny. Maybe it's not totally corny, but it's a little corny or cheesy or something. But yeah, the swapped version, in other words, with Johnny Lee Miller as the creature and Benedict Cumberbatch as Victor, is going live tonight, so I can watch that if I want. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch as the creature was very, very pitiable. He spends the first 5 minutes of the play just like learning how to walk, and it's just like it's kind of unbelievable. It's I don't know how else to describe it. But then like one by one he learns words and gains intelligence, and well he doesn't one by one. They show his like learning his first word, and then they cut forward like a few weeks to where he can form coherent sentences, or however long that would take. That probably takes months to form coherent sentences. It's like the mental growth of a human, except just like extremely compressed into 1 year. So it's really interesting. I don't know, I kind of just went on a tangent about that. That's cool. Yeah, food. We've been doing okay on groceries. I know that's a sensitive subject. I'm really keeping everybody who's relying on the food banks in my prayers. We have a couple of friends who are, one of them has the virus, and just their family is kind of struggling to keep themselves safe, so they've kind of quarantined her. I'm not sure if it's in a different apartment or in the same apartment, but my mom just, wanting to show her some Christian hospitality, we made a whole thing of beef stew for them, and anyway, that happened a couple weeks ago, but I think it's still nice to talk about. And then my mom got some sushi from the grocery store last night, and we had some of it, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I've been like dreaming about this the whole time that we've been quarantined, and finally being allowed to have some is just like, I wanted to say it's like chocolate during wartime, but that's a little bit too dark, so I just didn't say that. But that's like that. It feels like a little war, and it literally is a microscopic war being fought and waged, and good versus evil and all that. I don't know. It's a good time to watch some movies like Star Wars, and I don't know. Who cares about Star Wars? I'm just kidding. It is a Zebra Pleco. That's a cool name, a Zebra Pleco. We're here in Cortica River. I almost said Corona. Apus coin, or Apus, I don't know. There's some pretty ferns. My mom loves ferns. She's constantly sketching them. My mom and I got from one of our friends, we got this Alice in Wonderland 1000 piece puzzle, and it's like this magazine cover from 1923. It's a pretty famous illustration of Alice in Wonderland with like most of the characters. Saturn coin. I love Saturn. Saturn's such a beautiful planet. And it's been kind of frustrating because like basically what happened is that my mom started working on this puzzle like on a tablecloth, so that we basically have like too much traction if we want to like shift friction. I guess they're pretty much the same thing. If we need to shift the puzzle around, which like we started building the one section of the puzzle, which was basically like the upper border and the right border. And then we started building like all the characters that were in the left-hand side and in the center, and we realized, well, they're just a little off. But if they're just a little off and we can't shift them around because they're like huge chunks of the puzzle, then we pretty much need to start over. So somehow my mom, we were pretty frustrated about it. I was pretty discouraged about it last night. I felt like I was messing it up, but mom stayed up till 2 a.m. last night and put the puzzle back together somehow. I'm not even gonna ask her how she did it, but my mom stays up pretty late anyways. She's an artist, so I get, well, kind of, I guess that's kind of in her personality. I'm a bit of a artist too, but I don't know, it's not really the same. I mean, I'm in school, so that's slightly different. And speaking of which, I'm in some ways done with classes. I'm not done with all my homework. I still have a few final projects left. But I think I only have 2 like actual like classes left, and they're like spread out over the next 2 weeks. So maybe 2 or 3 classes, but like it's spread out over the next 2 weeks. So I'm officially done on like whatever the Friday is, May 16th, I think. But yeah, so now I can do this, and I can play more Phantasy Star 4, the end of the millennium. No, I'm kidding. That game is kind of fun. It's okay. I'm not very good at it, so I feel like I have to do more grinding that's necessary, or just run from every battle. But like I made it up to Zio's Fortress, which I guess is still pretty early in the game, but I don't know. I finished Cube Escape Paradox, so that was good. Chapter 2 and everything. I played a little bit of Ristar or Restar or however it's pronounced this morning, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is a game that I can get down with. It's really like happy and colorful, and I was like, okay, like that's the mechanic of this game. You pull things, or you grab things. I wasn't really expecting that, but I was like, okay, I could get down with this. I could get down with the get down. Foof. This game is just so cool. Like, I'm so glad that I grew up with this game, because it's like, it's such a like a gateway drug. Like, if you really want to get interested in nature, and like I'm a city boy, but like I've discovered that I really love nature. I'm used to the city, and I take inspiration from the city, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say that I get my energy from nature, and like even like the coins can teach you about constellations, which I think is really cool. And then once you get into constellations, you can learn about like Greek myths and like where all the constellations come from. And then there's pretty much like, even though I don't think the Pelago... Is the Pelago Commonwealth a real place? I feel like they made it up for this game. They certainly made up like all that stuff about the Okeanites for this game. But it's definitely based on like a real civilization, like almost like the Egyptians or something. It definitely stokes your interest about actual mythology if you play this game. And then of course all the creatures and all the species and all the beautiful fish and dolphins and birds and turtles, reptiles, whatever that you get to learn about in this game. It's just really amazing. And you can learn all the Latin names if you want. And then if you get tired of that, you can salvage shipwrecks and take photos and salvage all these things and train dolphins like you're at SeaWorld. But I don't remember that. There's that quote from School of Rock where Jack Black is going on that huge rant about like, don't trust the man because the man kidnapped Shamu and put him in SeaWorld. And it's like, so don't waste your time trying to make anything cool or pure or awesome, because the man's just gonna stomp on it and something. And there used to be a way to stick it to the man, and that was called rock and roll. But guess what? The man ruined that too, with a little thing called MTV. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen School of Rock in a while. I didn't realize that my DVD of School of Rock was actually a DVD-ROM. So, I put that in my computer and it barely worked. But I was like, well, I just want to watch the actual original So, yes, we're getting close to the end of this video. I don't know what else to say. Jack Black is cool, I guess. Church of Jack Black. Church of Jimmy Stewart. Don't practice the occult, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.